Hello and welcome to the sixth episode of the Gochuucast. And today we're going to be talking about anime video games. I guess I don't know how
N-
the actual topic's
Not
going to go.
not video game animes. Big
It's like,
difference.
yeah, video games from anime
Dude,
and like
there are a lot of
video games that
anime.
became anime.
Yeah, like Sword Art Online.
I can't wait
Yeah.
for Sword Art Online to be real.
So doesn't Sword Art have
No, it's
like
actually there's
three
actually a
or
game.
four
There's actually a game.
games? Yeah, it has a bunch. I remember there was a mobile game like 2 or 3 years ago that I actually used to play a decent amount.
Oh yeah, Big Sword Art Online.
It
guy?
does have games like I think a lot of them just like rehash the story. But I think it has like visual novels and stuff too. I don't know.
Well, it was weird because the one I played, what was it? I want to say it was Infinity. No, not that one. Whatever the one I played was, it had like, it almost felt like it was doing it's Integral Factor, I think. It almost felt like it was doing the like progressive storyline. You were like going through the floors and everything.
I see.
But it was a mobile game with like some gacha aspect to it, but you didn't get characters with the gacha, you got like skills from it instead. It was kind of fun, but there was like no reason to wail on it at all.
Yeah, the ones I know are like it's called like Fatal Bullet, and then there's the one with Alicization. It's like Licorice or whatever. I never played them, but I think you just like
you never played them, but you know all the names, huh? Interesting.
I looked them up. All right, I looked them up on Google. I did know the Licorice one because I saw so many like advertisements for it, and it was just like it changed. It's like changed the story and stuff like that, but otherwise it like went through the story. Anyway, considering we know nothing about the games, I'm gonna move on to games that we do know. Anime video games I feel like are like a slippery slope. They're either absolute like dog water or they can be really good. I'd say one of my top games of all time, actually, top 3. Star Wars Battlefront for the PS2, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. Those are like the top 2.
Let's go.
But number three is Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Which
oh my god, I was gonna mention the same thing.
I played the living fuck out of that game. It was so good.
Yes.
So I never played 3, but I played Budokai Tenkaichi 2, and as you know, I have not watched Dragon Ball. The Budokai games are my only experience with Dragon Ball.
Budokai 3 or Budokai Tenkaichi 3, I don't know. There's like
a lot of, isn't there like base Budokais too or something like that?
I'm pretty sure. But like I feel like the majority of my anime game experience definitely comes from like Dragon Ball stuff. That was my first, and like as a kid, I'm like, wow, I can watch these people beat the shit out of each other, and I can play video games about it.
Yes. Well, there was also there's like a lot of Dragon Ball video games. I remember playing one for the original Dragon Ball on like my Game Boy Advance or something like that. And that's like how I know like most of the original story as well. And that game was also heat.
Yeah, I played that. I definitely played it legally. No, totally didn't emulate it or anything.
Totally did not emulate that.
Classic.
But like, I remember that game. I think it was like it focused more on the Buu Saga, and I played the original one as well. I think, but like, there was always a point where there was just like to progress in the story was a stupid fucking level jump, like insane. I remember it was like the Boo one. It was like I was like a level fucking 30 or something. It's like, all right, now to move on, you have to be level 100. I'm like, wait, what? And so I never finished the game because I'm like, I'm not grinding this shit. I don't have the patience for this.
Yeah, so they would always have these random jumps in them.
But the console games typically slap for Dragon Ball. They make a lot of them though, like a lot of them. But Budokai Tenkaichi
I've seen some recent ones on Steam.
Was like Dragon Ball games were like my childhood. Even if I didn't own them, I'd be like watching stuff on YouTube, like Raging Blast 2, I believe. There was like so much, like they had a bunch of what if content in there. Like a Vegeta never goes Super Saiyan 3 in the show, but they had like a Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta in the game, which I thought was cool as shit. But yeah,
well, it was interesting for me because I never watched the show, but my best friend was really into Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, so he owned all the games, and so I would play the games with him, or I would watch him play the games. So I like know a good chunk of the Dragon Ball story, but I also, because of like what Daniel's talking about, I don't know what is real and what isn't real within like the anime version of Dragon Ball. I just know the things I've seen in the game.
Typically, like the Budokai Tenkaichi games, like kept it real, but like Raging Blast had a bunch of what if stuff. So I don't know. I guess it
Did
depends
you
on the
play
game.
the? Didn't they have Fighter Z?
I didn't play.
Come out a few years ago.
I didn't play Fighter Z. I did play.
What was the one? Was the one on the original PlayStation?
The original PlayStation. I'm not that fucking old, dude. PlayStation 2,
dude,
a GameCube. That's
I
like
thought
my
this
farthest
entire time
back.
that I was playing the same game as you guys that we were talking about, Budokai Tenkaichi 3.
It could have just been normal Budokai.
Maybe.
Gosh, now I have to find it. That was like what I was going to talk about, but
because there's also Dragon Ball Z Budokai, which was like released in 2004 on the PlayStation 2.
Gotcha. No, I have to find this. But yeah, no, I do remember. I feel like I played Budokai Tenkaichi 3, but I'm just like,
there was a.
now I'm not sure.
I
anyway,
played
it is what it is.
Ultimate Tenkaichi as well, which was kind of a shitty game.
Ultimate 2? Oh man.
Ultimate Tenkaichi was like, it had cool concepts, right? The story was awful because you didn't really ever get to do much. There was so much button mashing. That's like what a lot of the core gameplay was. You'd like fight a little bit, and then you get into like the intense situation where like you're beam struggling or something, and you just have to smash the living fuck out of the buttons. And my dumb little kid ass could not, for the life of me, I couldn't get past like the earliest battles and stuff because the button mashing was just that intense. I could not get it down. I'd have like the controller on the ground just spamming the fuck out of circle. I couldn't get it. But it had like a character creation.
You ever do this thing where you like vibrated your finger to make it like tap really fast?
Wait, what?
No, I can't quite say that I've done that.
Oh my god, that was like the old tactic because like you couldn't press like very fast, right? Like it's hard to move your finger.
So like you wouldn't actually lift your finger. You just
you would just like vibrate it so that it like registers.
Yeah.
Dude,
I think I get what you're saying when I actually like.
I was not I was not that big brain. I just played the for some reason like the create a character story was like 10 times easier to button mash in. But you get like your own moves, you can design your character. I love stuff like that. So it was cool. Otherwise the game was dog shit. But that part was really cool.
I'm pretty sure I played Budokai 3, like not even Tenkaichi 3.
Yeah. Like the older one.
If you're talking like a really old one, you probably played 3, not Tenkaichi.
Yeah.
Tenkaichi.
Bro, I'm like looking at these.
Tenkaichi
like,
3.
They were not 3D.
It just had like the whole story and everything, and there was like so much. There were like tournaments you could enter and stuff, so like you could like fight CPU. It was just really cool. There's a lot of like character stuff as well. But
so is Budokai like base Budokai more of like fighting focused instead of being kind of a like story driven? Because Budokai Tenkaichi was
there's a story mode. There was a story mode.
There was a story mode for Budokai Tenkaichi, but it was like all fighting. It's just like the base Dragon Ball story and stuff. It's not like
I remember
we got all cutscenes and stuff.
I remember Tenkaichi 3 had like the board basically that you would like travel through the level or whatever, and then you would randomly run into like other opponents and stuff, or you'd have to like go through them on the board.
That's not it's not Tenkaichi 3. Tenkaichi 3 was like level
I think it's
selector.
2 that does that. Yeah.
One
of them, I remember seeing the board, but I don't know what game it was from. I assume it's Tenkaichi 2 because I think that's the one that my childhood friend played all the time.
Yeah. I know another game I played a lot of was Dragon Ball Xenoverse, which is like I mean, it's technically an MMO in a way, but a lot of it was you can like choose the race of your character, like Namekian, Saiyan, like the Frieza race stuff. I think my biggest complaint with the game though is that you could not. You know how like a lot of games like your clothing has like stat boosts and stuff. Well, you could not like if you went with the drip route, like if you ignored all your stat stuff, like you were at like a severe disadvantage. So I think they fixed that in the second game where you could like respec clothing to like do different things. But like in the first game, it's like either you like drip to your own detriment or you just have like a weird mismatch of clothes. But I played a lot of that game. I think it's the first time.
Were you a drip gamer?
Yeah, I found ways. I found like decent drip. Like I would never.
You would like go out of your way to make sure you don't look like shit, but also you had to make sure your gear was okay.
I'd make sure the gear, like I took like a minimal boost over like the super like good stuff, just so I could like be a little drippy. But I think it's the first time I've ever gotten like sick from playing a game. I think this is actually like the worst I've ever been sick. It was like I played the game for 12 hours straight, and nowadays I'm like, okay, that's like it's still unhealthy, but like I could do it, and I wouldn't think twice about it. But back then, I was like a younger kid, and that shit rots your brain. I tried to go to sleep that night. I closed my eyes. I could see and hear the game. I could not get away from it.
What the heck?
And so I'm like,
sometimes it be like that.
I started feeling really bad. I think it was like I might have just been sick already, and like in tandem with playing the game for 12 hours straight nonstop. It might have just been like a wombo combo, but I threw up like 4 puddles. It was not a good night. But I had a lot of fun playing Xenoverse until I threw up 4 times.
I had a similar experience when I was a kid with Smash. Which is not really an anime video game.
No, it is. Dude, Mario Brothers...
There are anime characters in it, yeah, that's fair.
Mario Brothers has a movie. You know, the Super Mario Brothers movie.
It has
the
show
movie is
too,
a form of media. And anime is media, so yeah.
Dude, Hoshino Kirby, dude.
Yeah,
yes,
bro.
Hoshino Kirby. So I guess my biggest comparison, because you're talking about how you played all of the Dragon Ball games, those are a big part of you. I think the biggest thing I had as an anime video game growing up was probably Naruto.
Naruto?
I remember having some of the Naruto, the Ultimate Ninja games on. Maybe it wasn't the Ultimate Ninja. I remember having games on the GameCube that were Naruto. I don't remember what games they were. But I remember that Naruto had these like very bare bones GameCube games. You had a little bit of a story, but it was mostly just go fight a character, and you get like 5 minutes of story, and then go fight the next character, and there was it. There was like some achievements to it and stuff like that. Yeah, it was pretty standard. Looking back, it wasn't that great of a game, but I remember loving the Naruto games on the GameCube.
It's all about the experience in the end. Like, I can look back, and I can probably definitively say some of the games I played were not good. I'll talk about another one later.
Clash of Ninja, that was the one.
Like, I played, Attack on Titan has, like, 2 games. And
wait, really?
Gameplay-wise, they're, like, really repetitive. But for some reason, I just found them fun anyway.
No, I get that.
I don't know if I was just blind because I liked the series at the time or whatever, but...
Isn't there also that one random Attack on Titan game that's not like an official game, but it was like a PC game that someone had made that was just, you have like the open city.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. That was like, that's really fucking old. Holy shit.
I remember there was a point in time where like, I remember there was a point in time where like YouTubers were playing this game.
Yeah, I remember
2013 or something.
I remember that. Because I watched, funny story, I found, I got into Pokemon YouTube through Dragon Ball YouTube. It was like...
Okay.
Wow.
So I used to watch Patters a lot back in the day, and he would do, like, Ultimate Tenkaichi videos. Because I was trying to, like, find the cool shit for my character, and he would do, like, playthrough or whatever of it. Mm-hmm. And so I found him through that, and that kind of, like, led, and he did Pokemon as well. And then he eventually became, like, Poke YouTuber. But I remember him... And I think, like, Game Boy Luke doing the Attack on Titan thing.
Yeah. I don't know anything about the official games, because what you're talking about are, like, the...
Yeah, so there's, like, 2 official games. The first one, you kind of, like, just go through the story, and you're, like, zipping around on, like... There's something, like, satisfying about just zipping around, like, a map and killing shit to, like, get through a level.
Is that the entire game? Was that the entire game?
So there's, like, you, like, go through the story, if you, like, for story mode, obviously. But then, there was something else. You, like, go through these, like, side missions as well, I think. And, the second version of the game, I think, was a lot better, because what it did was there was a create a character thing, and you go through the story, but, like, as if you were a part of the anime. So, while the gameplay was kind of repetitive, it, like, gave you something interesting to, like, an interesting perspective, I guess. Like, as if you were there. And you're a main character, and you're going around killing stuff, and you're a part of the story.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. So, do you have like, when you say that does your character have like a central role in the story, or is he kind of just like an elite unit who's also alongside like Aaron and the main cast?
You're not like so like okay, spoilers, because I mean you're not gonna fucking play the Attack on Titan game. At the very end of the game, you like sacrifice, like there's like a game only scenario, and like where they try and like attack and like steal stuff. You have to like try and stop them from doing things, and so you like sacrifice yourself because there's like you're using a cart to like try and get back to the walls or whatever with what you're carrying. And so you sacrifice yourself to like stop the Titans that are like right behind you or whatever. And that's kind of like your most important role, but otherwise you're there but not like
you're there but you're not like broken. Like you are not driving the story like a main character, you're driving the story like an important person who existed.
Yeah, you are like you're a character and they like acknowledge you and stuff. And like in between missions you can like talk to other characters and stuff, and you like there's like a system in the game where you can like build your like repertoire and like get different dialogue options and stuff.
That's not that bad. I mean, I don't know. I think my biggest problem with like a lot of anime games is like the issue that you mentioned where it's just like repetitive. It feels like a lot of thought went into like recreating a story, but then they don't do a good job of like backing it up with gameplay, which I guess is like fine.
Well, that's one of the issues with like the first 3 One Piece Pirate Warriors games.
One Piece Pirate Warriors? No way, that's the actual name.
Pirate Warriors 4 is actually pretty good, but the first 3
it's game of the year. It's game of the year.
Yeah, the first 3 were like you play as the Straw Hats and everything. You go through a version of the One Piece story, but the combat in it is basically just crowd of Marines, and you punch them and slice them with swords a lot until they die. And then you go to the next area and you punch and slice them with swords a lot until they die. And that's like the combat. It was very similar to not an anime game, but Assassin's Creed. How that's kind of formulated, where it's just like fight this mob of enemies, beat it, move on.
Yeah, there's just like mob killing games, which I mean, it's like fine. It's a part of a game, but I don't know. Sometimes it's just like the central thing.
Like the Attack on Titan games were real. They were extremely repetitive gameplay wise.
Yep.
But I think it's just that the repetitive aspect was done well enough to like where you're just zipping around with like the 3D stuff. You know, it's like an interesting movement that you don't get in a lot of games, and so it just makes it like fun enough to play until you beat it. And you don't really revisit it after that. Like, I'll never 100% the game.
No, yeah.
But, like, I had fun playing it while, you know, I was playing it. Definitely not worth $60, I feel, but it was...
That's how I feel about
it entertained me for long enough. Yeah, I guess, like, I don't know. There are a lot of
Didn't
games...
Demon Slayer try and make a game, too?
I think Demon Slayer's game is actually, like, kind of popular.
Is it popular?
Wait, really?
Is it good?
I have no... It's probably, like, your like, stock standard, like, anime fighting shit. But it's Demon Slayer, and so people like it. I don't know.
Yeah, that is true.
It doesn't look bad from, like, the small bits I've seen. But, like, I feel like a lot of, like, the shonen fighting games get hyped up. Do y'all remember, it was like shonen.
One's Justice.
It was Jump Force.
Oh yeah, Jump Force. I did play Jump Force.
What happened to Jump Force? That shit was so like hyped up, and then it just crashed.
So one thing I will say, Jump Force story was wild. It like I don't really understand what happened. They just people kept showing up, like enemies and friends just kept showing up all the time at Jump Force, and it was just weird. Like. The big enemies from Bleach would show up while you're playing as like Hunter x Hunter character and all sorts of shit. And then, you know, Kaguya from Naruto shows up and is like, all right, let's fuck things up, guys. And it was a wild story for Jump Force. I think the problem was the gameplay for a fighter was just not that good. Like if I compare it to like a Tekken or something like that, there just wasn't that much skill in the Jump Force combat. It was kind of a little easy to master.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I played it. Like, I feel like I know I've heard of Jump Force, and like I feel like I played it. I just don't remember enough from it. Also, I like wasn't
It was kind of fun for like the first week I played it. Like I didn't necessarily regret getting it. It was kind of fun to see all those characters in the same game.
Dude, that's why people like Smash. That's why people like Smash, dude. Because the fantasy, you get to fulfill all those fantasies of like what X character meet Y character.
What I want to do one of these days is try the old like Jump All-Star games that they had for like the old systems. Like I think PlayStation 4 had one. And then there was also an older one on the DS. I want to try those and see how those are, because those were like old versions of the Jump Force idea as well.
Okay, interesting. Were there any like anime games that like you thought looked really good, or like you tried and you thought were actually really good, or have your experiences mostly been like somewhat negative or lukewarm?
I probably had neutral, honestly. I don't know, because most of the anime games I'm familiar with are like the AAA titles, like the Naruto's, the Dragon Balls, even like My Hero One's Justice, the Jump Force, the One Piece games, and I don't think any of those have particularly blown me away. But I have also like went into them with somewhat low expectations. I know One Piece has a new game, Odyssey, coming out pretty soon that I feel like I'm getting a little too hyped for, and if it's bad, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Well, you get to play as Luffy D Monkey or whatever.
Yes, Luffy D Monkey, my favorite.
I
don't know. I guess the biggest disappointment I probably would have is My Hero One's Justice, as far as those go, but I think it also came out at a time where I was just kind of starting to get bored of My Hero.
Boku no Hero Academia? Yeah.
I think Black Clover has a video game coming out soon, too.
I never...
Okay, so we... Oh, God.
I never played it, but it was like a really big like cultural phenomenon when it did come out. To like slightly veer off to like the idea of like visual novels, Doki Doki Literature Club, did any of you ever play that?
I didn't.
I played like, dude, I started it and like I played it only because like everybody bugged me about it. It was, I'm telling you, Daniel was like 100% right. It was like a cultural phenomenon. It was like all over, like everywhere. Anyway, yeah, I played a couple hours of it, but
I saw some of the screenshots from it, and I was like, nope, I don't think I want to touch that.
Yeah, it definitely seemed very fucked up game.
I'm also not into horror, so like if you showed me the cute stuff from it, you probably could have tricked me into playing it. But as soon as I realized it was like not the cutesy visual novel, I was like, yeah, no, this is not my type of game.
Yeah, visual novel wise, I can't really get into them. It's very like you have to put a lot of time into visual novels to make it like worth your time.
Routes,
like
all the routes.
Yeah, I mentioned it before. I think maybe like episode 1, but I played the Clannad visual novel a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
I have about 10 hours into it, and I've completed 2 routes. And I failed one. And let me tell you, failing a route in a game with a lot of routes, it fucking hurts. Because they give you
put so much into it, probably.
They give you a lot of like save files or whatever that you can use. Mm-hmm. But I'd never played a visual novel before, so I didn't know like the whole point. You're supposed to like save a shit ton at like important moments, so you don't have to like replay, and you can just go back. Yeah. You can just go back to that save file, and you can like choose a different like path there. I didn't know that basically, so I would have to like. There's like a skip dialogue you've seen function, but like I don't know. I feel like it just feels so grindy when like I generally know
when you fail the route and you have to go through like hundreds of screens to get back to where you were.
Yeah, I will say so I've been watching like Kaginato, which is like a bunch of key franchises. They usually do like visual novels and stuff. And there's one route in Clannad that just never gets mentioned in like the anime at all. It's like what the anime does is while there's like technically like a central route that it follows, it uses the other routes and it like finds a way to like turn them into side stories without like tampering with the main one. And so you meet all the characters that you would in the visual novel, except for one who just never shows up. And they were having the first episode of like Kaginato season 2 was there was like 2 irrelevant characters that were they're like holding a bunch of other characters hostage so that they could get screen time instead. And then they're like arguing who's like the most irrelevant, and then this dude who never showed up in the Clannad anime shows up in Kaginato and like wins the most irrelevant character. Because like he has a route in Clannad or whatever. It's like I don't even know. I know I read something about it. I haven't done the route or whatever. I think it's like it's just a boy who's like very feminine or whatever. And he just the anime never mentions his existence. But he shows up in Kaginato, and if I hadn't like known that little bit of lore, I would have no fucking idea what was like
this dude would have just showed up and you'd be like, I don't know who this character is.
They're like, yeah, he's from Clannad. I'm like, wait, what? But yeah, because I was like reading up on routes and stuff to like know how many I had to do. And then there's this character. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And yeah, he just doesn't show up in the anime. They just cut him from existence. But
yeah, I think like there's, I always wonder, like, especially with all the routes and like visual novels, like how much each anime, if they're based off a visual novel, actually skip. Because like I'm trying to think of like some.
Well, there's like Fate, but Fate adapted the routes into like different stuff.
Like
Fate Stay Night, right? Yeah, like Fate Stay Night is I think the Saber route, and then Unlimited Blade Works is the Rin route, and then Heaven's Feel is the Sakura route.
Wait, so the source material of Fate is
it's a visual novel.
Yeah. Well, it was like originally like an eroge, so it was just really horny. But then they turned it. They turned it into. They turned it into not horny, I guess.
Fate's like weird because it started as this like horny visual novel and then has now become this giant encompassing franchise with like FGO, Gotcha Game, and all these animes that have like a million different things, and there's 500 different Fate stories with all of the characters, which is like kind of based, but also just thinking about the fact that it started as just a horny visual novel is like, how did we get here?
Yeah, something I've recently watched, Steins Gate, is a visual novel, I believe.
Yep.
I don't know, like, how many, like, you could really have to. I guess there's, like, certain, like, branching points you could have, like, visual novel stuff.
Yeah.
I'll never play it, because I've watched it.
You watched it. There's
no
point.
I have no reason to, like, I've had Clannad for years, and I just haven't played. I've only played 10 hours, so I know I'll never finish it. But,
yeah.
I'll finish Clannad one day, maybe. I don't know. I'll be like 60, retired. And
Let's go.
Hey, fuck, I haven't touched the game in 40 years. I finished Clannad. But, yeah, I don't think I'll ever play, like... Because Steins Gate has, like... Does it have its own universe? Or is it just, like, that's kind of like their style of naming stuff? Because there's, like...
In what sense?
What's it called? There's, like, Steins Gate... And then there's like Chaos something, right?
Oh, it's made by the same company. It's like
it's like the same.
It's the same universe. I don't know. I think it's the same universe because there's like references to the characters.
I didn't realize that those two things were connected.
And Chaos Child.
Chaos. And there's like robotic notes or something like that.
Yeah, robotic notes. I don't know
and
anything
they're all
about those.
visual novels. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Saya ADV. I guess it's like the whole thing.
Yes, that's like the group or whatever. Not an expert.
So what do we think about like anime that got turned in, or like not anime, video games that got turned into anime? So like Persona is probably the biggest one I can think of.
Oh, I've never seen that.
I watched a lot of it. I have a friend. So he's like a big like Persona. He's like a big like video game like that in like the anime style kind of person. And we like watch a lot of anime together because if I had never like forced him to like sit down and watch other shit, he would just been like Persona, Danganronpa, all that shit.
The greatest.
That would have been like his entire anime personality. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sit you down. You're gonna watch some good shit. But in return, eventually I'm like, okay, I will watch things that I would never have like thought about, like the Persona stuff. So I've watched the 4 movies from 3.
I watched some of Persona 5
quality
gameplay, but that's about it.
And then I watched the Persona 4 anime, and then he told me the Persona 5 anime was trash.
Wait,
compared to the game, and so we didn't watch that one. But then I also watched Danganronpa season 1, which is like Among Us anime.
Yes,
isn't Danganronpa just basically Among Us?
It's literally just Among. Like the whole point is like. So this like bear with a really big belly button like kidnaps a bunch of people under the pretense that they're going to like some school, And
Classic.
he's like, all right, guys. So basically, to graduate, one of you has to kill somebody and get away with it. But there's like, it's like your typical anime thing where there's like a bunch of stupid people, but then there's like the main character, one like Giga Chad smart person, you know, that type of thing. Everyone's like really like tropey or whatever. But basically, it's like just every now and then someone gets killed, and then they have to like go through the process of like investigating. And yeah, just it's like if you guess wrong, that person gets to like leave and everyone else dies or something like that.
Yeah, it's some like survival.
But if you unnecessarily high stakes too.
Yeah, but like if basically it's they have like a court session or whatever after they get like a certain amount of time to investigate, and then there's like a court session or whatever. And if the correct person is outed, then they get killed and everyone else gets to keep playing. But if they like, you know, get away with it, then everyone else dies.
They just auto win.
Yeah, they get to graduate or whatever.
Yep.
It's like kind of interesting, but like I know there's like more than one season, but I think I've heard those adaptations are not as good or something like that. I don't know. I watched one.
Well, I think there's different
no particular interest.
volumes of the visual novels. So.
Yeah, I know a little bit. I think I saw a little bit of the gameplay, and I didn't think it was particularly that interesting. But I also was like, I'm not into like the edgy mystery type stuff anyway.
Yeah, I've had some friends play it or whatever. It's like not a visual novel, but it's like so you're like in a place and you get to walk around and like talk to other characters and stuff and probably like build a repertoire. And I think there's like different ways to I don't know if there's like different endings and stuff or not, or if it's like there's like different ways to get to it, like a set ending. There's just different ways to get to it. I don't know, but they played it a lot, and it kind of seemed like you would go around and you'd interact, and then stuff would happen, and then you'd get to investigate, and then you have to like you'd have to like go through these like court sessions trying to like question other characters and stuff. It seems like kind of interesting, but I don't think I'd ever play it myself.
Yeah, that's fair.
It seems like a big time consumption that I'm like really bad about finishing games. I have a
Dude, me too. I'm the same way.
I actually have a ReZero game. It's like technically a visual
Wait,
novel.
is it the new one?
It's
new one?
Yeah, it's the Prophecy of the Throne.
Right.
Is what it's called.
Okay.
It's like a what if story. It's like the second half of season 1, but if like something different happened or whatever. I think it's like widely regarded as like not that good.
Yeah, I've never even heard of this. I didn't even know that. Granted, I'm not like
you're not like
big ReZero head, but I still would have assumed that.
It's not like a big game or anything.
Yeah.
But it's something I have like a couple hours into it, but it's like,
oh god, they're all chibi.
Yeah, like the actual gameplay is like really weird, but like otherwise it's like a visual novel in like the light novel art style, which I like the light novel art style, but it's like the actual gameplay isn't that engaging, and I'm like already bad about visual novels and stuff, and so
just really didn't have that much to keep you in it, even though it's ReZero.
I'll probably finish it eventually, but like the game's like not like too popular or whatever among the ReZero community. It's complicated. I don't know if there's a ReZero game that'll ever be able to like keep me, unless like the gacha game comes to global or something, but even then I don't know. But it was alright. It was like kind of interesting. I like the art style, but other than that, nothing like kept me playing it.
So then, I guess the other thing I think of, which I don't think any of us know these series particularly well, I've done a little bit, is the Tales series. Those
bro, look at my profile picture.
Is that a Tales character?
Yeah, of course. It's it's from the new game.
You say of course, but like, I guess
I know, dude.
I don't know.
I know. Okay,
it just seems like anime character. I would never have guessed it was from
anime character number 327.
Like when you say it's a Tales character, I look at it and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of Tales art style.
I mean, yeah, yes.
Okay, perfect. Oh wait, is that the Arise one?
Yeah, Arise. Yeah.
Ah,
new one.
But yeah, like the Tales games, there's like a bunch of I didn't even know half of the Tales games had anime, so I found the Tales series through random anime. Tales of Zestria the X comes out in like 2018, I think.
I don't think it's not an actual anime. It's just like clips, like short clips, right?
No, Zestria had an actual anime, like
Oh, really?
a
Okay.
seasonal anime with 2 seasons, I think. Or like 25 episodes or something. I watched this anime without even knowing that it was based on a game, and then I found out that there was a game for it afterwards, or the game it was based on. And I was like, oh, that's kind of based. And I'm bad about actually playing video games, but I own a few of the Tales games that I eventually plan to play. But it's like I didn't know that. I think Symphonia has an anime and Abyss has an anime.
I knew Vesperia only has like some short clips on YouTube, but that's about it.
No, it's Zestria.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Vesperia, I don't think has anything.
No, it doesn't.
It's also weird because what is it? Berseria. These all sound the same. Berseria, which is like one of the ones that's a lot of people's favorites, also doesn't.
Oh, the new one, Berseria. Yeah.
Yeah. That also doesn't have a show or anything, but I imagine it will at some point.
No, it has like a I don't know what you want to call it, like a short clip,
like an OVA type thing. Yeah,
it's like 5 minutes. Yep.
Yeah, I guess that's like one of the things I think of the most.
You mentioned games that became anime, right?
Yeah.
What about Pokemon?
Yes, that did in fact become anime. I feel like.
Am I right?
That
started off as a game, which is kind of hard to believe, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like they created the correct franchise at the correct time.
Oh,
they were like the first people to like. It's like the first like monster collection that like.
Yep.
Maybe not the first. It's the one that stuck.
Yeah, I'm sure some boomer one.
Came out with like the the Game Boy, so it's like right at like the height of when it would like need to come out, I guess. And so I created like a merch funnel, and so now it's like the number one grossing franchise of all time, which and we still can't get a good game. So that's unfortunate. But
we haven't had a good game in like 7 years. PLA was solid.
PLA was. I am so glad that I totally played it legally, not emulated whatsoever, because it was totally worth $60. I'm so glad I pirated that game. Holy shit! There's
Nintendo, your check is in the mail.
But like, as for an open world game, it was so okay. Here's the thing. I think PLA was a step in the right direction for what Pokemon like should go for, but holy shit, is the actual game itself so bad. I played it, I beat it, never gonna touch it again because there's no incentive to keep playing.
There's no reason to. I mean, that's just Pokemon games, right? Like for the most part, none of the post games have been particularly that great for Pokemon.
I think the more recent post games have been pretty shit, but like generally, because like here's the thing with like Heart Gold Soul Silver, like Gold Silver, those whatever. The post game wasn't like crazy inventive, but like to be able to go to the Kanto region, like basically replay the first fucking game, and then you go to the top of a mountain and you fight yourself from the other game. That's fucking based. That is a cool post game. And then like Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, or whatever, you can like go get all the legendaries, and there's like the other islands and stuff. You own a fucking mansion. That's based. And those are like based post games. I feel like the last.
Do you know the history behind Gold and Silver and why it's like Kanto Johto or something? It was supposed to be the last game. I mean,
yeah, it was. There was only supposed to be the 2 regions that they had planned, and that's why you go back.
Yeah, and they like originally couldn't fit. They originally couldn't fit both regions, but like this guy, like he like invented something to like make it so that you could actually go to both regions. So like a lot of effort was put into it actually having both regions. I mean, going to another region is like the sickest thing ever. So I mean, I can't blame you for really liking that post game. But
I think it's cool to be able to like. I think Heart Gold Soul Silver might be like the peak of like remakes.
Game.
It might be my. I don't know. I think Black and White. I initially like as a kid, I didn't really care for them that much, but like as I got older, they like kind of aged like fine wine. I feel.
I actually do agree with this. I was not a Black and White head as a kid.
Oh,
I think I also kind of was starting to grow out of Pokemon for a bit when Black and White came out, and then I didn't really come back until around like XY a few years later. But and not even when XY came out. But yeah, I definitely was not very big on Black White or Black White 2.
Dude, you guys are insane. No, Black White and Black White 2 are so
now
good.
I am. Now I'm like,
I feel like
it, right?
I would have liked Black and White 2 better if the male character didn't look fucking stupid. I will say Black and White are the peak of like main character design.
I would play it right now. And probably enjoy it.
Their names were terrible, like Hilda and like Hilbert. Like, what the fuck were they thinking?
Yeah,
but their actual character designs were so good. And then like Rosa or whatever, it was good. Black White 2, but what was it, like Nate or something? Was the main guy's name in Black White 2? His hair and hat just fucking stupid. And so I feel like that's like the first. Typically, I don't like play as a girl character or whatever, unless it's like a very like character design heavy game. But I was like the first Pokemon game, like this guy looks fucking stupid. And I played as a girl, but otherwise they were pretty good games. I think I like the other Black and White better though.
Oh, Nate, dude! I just looked up Nate. Yeah, dude.
Dude, he is so ugly. Holy shit! Like, what is going on with his drip? He's like decently drippy, but then he's just fucking ugly ass.
He looks like a dad. He looks like a dad.
See, at least like Hilda and Hilbert to me looked cool, right?
Yeah, they look cool.
But then we got to Black White 2, and they just looked like dweebs.
See, no, Rosa has like a cute design, but like Nate is just he's just a dweeb, dude. I mean,
I always play as male characters too.
Yeah, dude,
so
he is such a dweeb. Look, like that hair, dude. Get a haircut, and like maybe your hat would be like passable, but like I don't know. It's definitely not. It's definitely a low point for character design in terms of I don't know. Heart Gold Soul Silver main characters had pretty good drip in terms of character design, and then they started letting you design your own character, which like you could definitely you could get some drip. But I feel like the last games that had actual effort put into them were like the DS the DS like pixel era.
You know what's insane?
It all went downhill with 3D.
Oh god. I was gonna say, you know what's insane? Pokemon, okay, listen, was a game, and they adapted it into the anime, and then they adapted the anime back into the game with Pokemon Yellow, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
There are some things that they do in the anime that I wish they would also do in the games nowadays. Like I've always said that I hate how if I go to challenge the first gym, for example, right? Brock has 2 Pokemon, but I can fight him with 6. I love how in the anime when Ash challenged gyms, they would do like 2v2s or 3v3s.
Yes,
I wish that was implemented in the game.
I think something interesting. Have you ever seen? It was like an anime like short thing, like Pokemon Origins.
Yeah.
But like how they had it set up, I thought was really cool, and like I kind of hope that's how Scarlet and Violet's gonna be. Even though if I play those games, it will not be legally. But basically,
it's okay, I'll play them legally.
Basically, it was like he went to challenge Brock, and Brock is like, "Okay, what's your team looking like?" And you know, he had like a couple Pokemon all low level, and so Brock had like different Pokemon for like different like levels of
Brock
like
went and chose the Pokemon.
Yeah, like grabbed 2 balls or whatever. All right, now you're a scrub, so I'll take you on with this. I thought that was really interesting. And I kind of hope that's how like the upcoming game is to like because it's gonna be open world apparently or whatever.
Based on what they've said about the game, we don't know that much. Things could be very like not what we think it'll be, but based on what they said, they kind of have to do something like that. I assume it'd be kind of weird if it's open world. You can just do whatever you want, but if you go back to challenge like the canonical 3rd gym, you'll still have level 25s even though you're level 60.
Yeah, like you leave like gym 1 for less, and you have like all the legendaries and stuff. It'd just be really weird. I feel like one like good thing about like Pokemon games is they were ROM hacks are like very plentiful for them. Not all of them are good. A lot of them are pretty ass, honestly. There's even there's literally a Pokemon ass.
Feel old. Yeah.
But I feel like I've definitely had some good fun with like the ROM hacks and stuff in like fan games. I feel like some of them try to be too edgy though. I think that's like one thing I didn't like about Insurgents. It like felt really
Do you don't like the creepy ones? The ones where
There
the
was
Pokemon literally die?
Was it Reborn that was also like super edgy for no reason?
Reborn's edgy, but like there are ones that are like there's like gore and stuff in the games. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I did not want to see that on my Pokemon.
my problem with the Reborn is that I think it goes away eventually, but the very beginning of the game is so fucking gray. Like, holy shit, choose a new color palette. It's so
That is
boring.
true.
I just can't get into the game because it looks ugly as shit. And it's really grindy too. It's like one of those games where it's like artificial difficulty because like you have to fight level 2s to level up, and like grinding is the worst part of Pokemon. There are people who get mad about like EXP cheats. Like,
No, you're right.
Go, like, I don't know, lock yourself into your mom's basement and grind against level 2s for like 20 hours so you can beat Gym 1.
Yep.
Oh, what's that game? It's called like Pokemon Dark Rising or something.
Dude, Dark Rising
is
is so bullshit. Fuck that game.
It's like the really hard one.
Dark Rising have a scripted loss?
No,
the beginning of the game?
It doesn't. I don't think it does anyway. Maybe it does. Yeah, it's like you fight like a Tornadus or something.
There's a game where like a level 50 Tornadus shows up and just
I'm fine with like a scripted loss or whatever, but
that's a different game. I'm like pretty sure.
It's literally the very start, like when
you
get your Pokemon, basically.
Gotcha.
So
okay, maybe.
But I played a Nuzlocke of Dark Rising actually, and I made it to the champion. Right, I had to like.
Oh, no.
This is the first time in my life I've ever had to like prepare for something with a Pokemon game. I went into the Elite Four with a Frostlass. Its only purpose was to click Destiny Bond against one of the Elite Four members, Regigigas, because that shit didn't have slow start. And let me tell you, that motherfucker hurts. And so I had to sacrifice a Frostlass to get to the champion. And I cheesed the living fuck out of... He has a Dark Lugia that has like base 200 at every stat. It's insane. Mm-hmm. And so I had a Musharna. I don't know how this is like my second Pokemon. This Muna made it all the way to the end of the game. And my fucking Musharna was my number 1 mon. And so I was going into Mewtwo.
Kind of base.
I set up to like +6 with like the combines and stuff. I was killing everything. But then something I did not expect. A second Regigigas. And let me tell you, my Musharna did not take the hit very well. And by that I mean it died and I lost at the champion with my Nuzlocke.
There's no way he had a second.
He didn't have a second one. One of the Elite Four.
The second one in
the second one in the Elite Four. And I'm like, I killed Mewtwo and I killed Dark Lugia, which had like a base 200 power move as well that always poisoned, which was also bullshit.
The heck?
But yeah, it would like guaranteed toxic you, and so it was like really weird. But
wait, so Dark Rising is the one where it's like level 100 by the third gym or something, right?
No, it's not that hard.
No?
It's not that big of a skill.
Okay.
It'll have like level jumps and like you have to fight a lot of legendaries and stuff. But like by the end of that game, it's like, dude, I had so many dead legendaries. There's so many dead mons. They just all like die on like a consistent basis. And when I saw that second Regigigas, I knew I lost because I didn't have anything like. Because it's not like I made it through the Elite Four like entirely unscathed or whatever. I had 4 mons going into the champion battle. And Musharna apparently was the best fucking one. Like I lost my Rayquaza, I think, earlier. And then I had to obviously sacrifice my Frostlass to beat the first Regigigas. I didn't have anything to take on a second one. And so I lost to the champion, and it was like really devastating. But I think that might be my hardest Pokemon experience. I don't know.
With a lot. I did a Radical Red Nuzlocke at one point.
Oh god.
That's not a fun one. You like have to research for that, or just know the game inside out. Because
at that point, I mean,
impossible to beat without. Yeah.
It's. I guess it's fun to solve the game.
It's a different type of game. Yeah, you're definitely not going in blind and challenging people because you will get your ass kicked.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. You might know the answer to this spat, but I don't know what came first for Yu-Gi-Oh. Game, the card game, or the anime? I assume the card game.
I think
there's a manga before all this.
Manga.
Okay.
The fuck?
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure, it's originally a manga.
That makes sense because the card game in early Yu-Gi-Oh makes no sense at all. So if it's just like a manga, that helps.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
But I do remember I used to have Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Spirit Caller on the DS that I played a ton.
Yeah.
And there was also another Yu-Gi-Oh! Game for the GameCube that was like this weird like free roam. It was not card style. It was like RPG style. I don't remember what the name was, but it was so hype. Like it was for the GameCube. You just like go around in this map with characters who have certain monsters that they summon and stuff, and it's kind of like Fire Emblem in a way.
Gotcha.
But Yu-Gi-Oh games are pretty fun too. Now that I think about it, Spirit Color took way too many hours from me for a game that was literally just playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
I feel like I never understood like a lot of these like had games. Does anyone actually know how to like play them as a kid? No, they'd all. I feel like those games are like the biggest entrapment of all time because the merch is a game, but no one knows how to play the game. Like I watched not a lot of it, but did you ever watch Bakugan?
Yes, I watched it. I owned Bakugan.
I've watched like 3 fucking episodes ever, but I owned a lot of Bakugan because they were cool to collect. I didn't know how to play.
Like,
I had all
the
cards and stuff. I don't know how to play the fucking game. I had this big dragon. I don't even know what his name is. He just looked cool, and I don't know. It's just like
sadly, I did know how to play, but it didn't help the experience. Bakugan the game made no sense at all. As like a non-anime game, it was stupid.
Yeah, I own Beyblades too. Those are like really popular at like school and stuff. Like people.
I don't
like,
think anyone knew how to play with Beyblades though. You would just like have a Beyblade and then
yeah,
just,
you
like,
had a Beyblade
knock
and
each
you'd
other out of
spin
the
it.
arena.
Yeah,
exactly.
You'd have the arena and you just like whoever stops spinning first.
Which I guess that is literally how they play Beyblade in the anime. But
I wonder if I seriously doubt I still have any of that. I would have to like seriously.
I think I
dig.
still have some of the Bakugan somewhere.
I think Beyblade.
Went to go look for them. I
They
might have
banned it from school,
somewhere.
bro. They banned Beyblade from school.
I think they might have banned at my school as well. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm for sure they did.
Because all this stuff like always like catches on, and then they're like,
Yeah.
okay, y'all need to like not be bringing all this
y'all
stuff.
need to chill. I remember I had these little like Digimon figures that I would bring to school sometimes, and I lost one of them in the snow one day, and I never found it. I have no idea what happened to that figure.
Feels
the snow
bad.
melted. The snow melted. It still wasn't there. I was absolutely distraught.
Oh, but that reminds. I had like a similar situation. So like this is a day I'll always remember in infamy, because it was like the most strange experience ever. So my dad, I was like a little kid or whatever, so I couldn't stay home alone, and my dad wanted to like go out with some friends to like this, you know, like those weird golf places where you can like you hit a
golf.
It's like indoors or whatever, and you like hit a golf ball at a screen.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It was like one of those places. Obviously, it's gonna be boring as shit because normal golf is already dumb, and so now you're playing virtual golf.
Now you're playing like virtual fake golf.
Now you're not even playing golf, and so I'm just like sitting at this table or whatever. I had my DS, but I didn't know I was gonna be going to this thing, so I didn't have it like properly charged. So I started on yellow, and for a good like 8 hours, I was on blinking red. It was the most insane shit I've ever seen in my life. But I lost. I brought like obviously my games with me, and I had like a mystery dungeon game. I think it was like one of the original ones.
Based.
I played it a good amount, and I think I stopped playing it so I could like play a different game, and I just lost it. I don't know what happened. I always remember that game though,
dude.
for getting me through that day.
Is so based.
I'll like replay Explorers this guy every now and then. It's a really good game. Like
yeah.
I haven't played any of the new ones though. I doubt they're anywhere near as good, but maybe they are. I don't know. Because didn't they add like they made them 3D and stuff?
They added like nicer stuff, and I guess the way I would describe it is the stories are a little more bland, but like the actual gameplay is fun. They also had the I guess it's a remaster of the original Mystery Dungeons that came out like 2 years ago or something.
Yeah.
I played those. Those are actually like really well done. And it was nice because it was a remaster, but it still felt fresh and like new, and it had some new stuff in it that didn't feel like I was just playing the same game again, but on better graphics.
Explorers Sky was such a base game.
Yeah, it was. Oh, the game.
I will say that game can be extremely infuriating though, because like as a kid, like something dumb happens, like you don't really understand. Like you're just a
Just
you're just a
walked
dumb
into a
kid.
monster house.
Monster houses are bullshit. Fuck monster houses. Oh my god! If you don't have like an orb to like, no, you can't even use orbs in those rooms. Fuck monster houses, dude.
Yeah. Once a monster
god.
house popped up, you either had to have a quick escape plan or you were fucked. You had to like sit there for a few minutes and be like, "How do I get out of this?"
I was 10 when 10 or something, 10 or 11 when the original Mystery Dungeon came out.
And then your dumb partner always starts to battle them.
They always start to fight.
I didn't even know orbs existed. I didn't even know what orbs did.
You couldn't use them.
They were sitting in my inventory
anyway.
the entire game.
Yeah.
I like replaying those games. Like, dude, it was like in the temporal tower or whatever, or like the area before there, where you had to climb like fucking 30 floors to like get to the end. I was on the last floor. I just had to go one more staircase. In the staircase room, monster house. I die. I was so pissed. It's like there's nothing more infuriating. But there's also nothing. I went to another monster house the next time I was going up, but in the monster house there was like one of those hidden staircases, and so I got out of it. And it was like the most relieving thing ever. But yeah, no, monster houses are bullshit. Absolutely fuck those things. Oh my god. Well,
So
who came up with an evil game mechanic?
I guess the one thing I also want to kind of ask, because I think it's kind of interesting to talk about, is what is a anime or like a couple anime that you guys think you would want to get like good video games that like maybe either doesn't have
they're
one
going
or
to
like,
be good games, or do
like,
we have to roll
like
the
if
dice?
you think like if you are a huge My Hero fan but you think every My Hero game is shit, you are fine to be like, I want My Hero to have a good game, for example. But just like you're guaranteed to have a good game come out for X anime, what are some anime that you like would really want to have some dice games come out for?
It's an interesting question, because I feel like I also have to like think of like how these work as games. Like, what would you do?
Yeah. So I think for me, obviously One Piece exists. There's a few good One Piece games, but I want like an exploring One Piece game. But Hunter x Hunter comes to mind for me as well. I know Hunter x Hunter had like the Greed Island video game that no one talks about because it wasn't really good. Because I think it might have been a gacha game. I don't remember for sure. But I want Hunter x Hunter to get like a real video game.
I feel like one that could be interesting. I like exploring games a lot, like open world. I feel like a lot of what I do a lot in games is like I'll just like walk around for like with no particular goal in mind. And I think that's why I was able to I have like 80 hours in Elden Ring right now, and I'm still nowhere near done. And then
Elden Ring gamer.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is like, I don't know, those games are like kind of like highly debated on whether they're good or not, or if it's just like a lot of repetitiveness.
So they like, fit the things that you like.
I think Odyssey was like, it's not like a great game or anything, but I have 70 hours in it, and it's like I generally enjoyed what I was doing for a while. But like exploration is fun, so I feel like something fantasy, like maybe like Wandering Witch, because there's not really like a story to Elena. Things like it's just kind of like the exploration of a world, and Elena's kind of like the vessel you do that in. And so
I know it's like a little too meta to say, but I think like a Bofree video game would be kind of fun.
Bofree
would be a game based on the Bofree video game in the show.
I think it was the people who made Genshin. They said they like by like 2030 or something like that. They want to have like an SAO type game, which I don't think is going to happen, and I don't think I trust the Chinese with my like brain anyway. But you know,
it's cool to think about.
It is cool to think about. I just, you know, when I think Sword Art Online, I think of the Chinese
when you die
political
in the
party,
game, you die in real life. And
yeah,
also,
I'm like, if there was someone who's gonna recreate SAO with the dying in the game
in every way,
it will be the CCP.
like, I also think like it'll come, but Jujutsu Kaisen probably needs it.
It'll
definitely
have a game. Yeah.
It's the same with like Black Clover. Like 3 years ago, I would have said I want there to be a Black Clover video game. There's gonna be one next year. Hopefully, it's good.
There actually is a. I don't know if it's gonna be like a mobile game or not. There's a Jujutsu Kaisen game though. Yeah, it's a mobile game. Okay, it's probably
they always have mobile
like
games.
The current trend is like always make mobile games, especially gacha games. For a lot of these,
they're so
like,
popular.
every game has. I mean, Dragon Ball had what was the Dragon Ball?
It's Dokkan.
Gacha.
I used to play Dokkan, but like I don't know.
It's had that for the longest time.
I played Dokkan before I had my personal bank account, and so I was definitely saved by my lack of autonomy at the time. Or otherwise I might have like actually played a lot of that game. I don't know. It's alright though, I guess. Of course now I'm like enslaved to gacha, but that'll be a topic for another day.
Yo, you know what?
A singular gacha anyway.
You know what anime needs a good game?
What one?
Pokemon.
Pokemon? Yeah, true. True. That's very. How the fuck?
Especially currently just trying to figure out how to turn Classroom with Elite into a video game so you can talk about
Dude,
it.
that'd be sick. I guess it could work as a visual novel, right? I mean, you have the.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know, dude. I don't play visual novels.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's based off. I don't think it is.
I think it's based off a light novel.
Yeah, it's a light novel.
Yeah. I guess the opposite of that question is kind of interesting too. What are some video games that you would want to get like the anime treatment? I think Xenoblade. I don't think Xenoblade has an anime. I don't necessarily know that it would, but I think the Xenoblades would be fun to see in like a real animation.
I tried to look up a Classroom of the Elite game, and there's a Steam page for it, but apparently you can just like buy Season 1 on Steam.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's just you can buy the Season 1 for $17 on Steam. It's 30% sale right
17.
now. I didn't know Steam had video, but I guess they do. Like, what? How does it even work? Like, it says distributor Crunchyroll. It's like Steam go to Crunchyroll is like,
so you go,
sell some anime.
Like, pay Steam, then link your Crunchyroll account or something.
It's probably like
it's weird.
Crunchyroll like gives them like the ability to sell it, and they like split it or something. Oh wait, hold on. At the request of the publisher, Classroom of the Elite is no longer available for sale on Steam.
Oh.
Okay. So you can no longer get anime on Steam.
RIP.
That's tough. Steam has a lot of weird things that they're just a really quirky game thing. Like
they have a lot of visual novels, that's for sure.
I was looking at some like trending games or whatever, and it was like furries and Hitler or something like that.
What?
Was like a trending game. Yeah, hold on.
Steam is a weird place if you get too deep into it.
I need to see what this exactly was. I put the link somewhere. Hold on. I was definitely like I was shook when I first saw it. I'm like, what the? I know Steam's weird, but like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck can I? Okay, this is being dumb.
You have a picture? Or are you trying to send it?
I'm trying to like look. You know how like Discord lets you like do like from user or whatever?
Yeah,
It's not fucking letting me do that.
From whom do you want?
No, I'm trying to look for me. It's another server.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I have no idea. It was just like furry Hitler. You know, maybe I can just literally look it up on Steam. That'd be
furry Hitler. Just look up furry Hitler.
Furry Hitler. Yeah. It's literally. It's just literally. It's $7. Furry Hitler.
It's at least 3 lists I'm getting on. If I look that up, I'll pass.
Oh, holy shit. Okay, I regret clicking on that. Okay, so I've learned that is a hentai game.
Oh no, it got even worse.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. All right. I just saw some stuff that I'll never unsee. I'll spare you the trouble. Don't look up furry Hitler. You'll see a lot of the trailers started automatically playing. I won't tell you. That's one hell of a trailer.
So anyway, anime and video games, right, boys?
Yeah, there's a lot of.
I need to get off of this.
Hey, yo, ever played a hentai game?
Yo, relax.
While we're on the actually, I have a game that I was with a friend or whatever, another server. We were just in a VC looking for shitty games to play, and it's called The Last of the Waifus. And it's like you're just like an anime girl in like a really like small area. It's like a zombie thing, like a wave game. and I 100%ed it. I have
100%ed.
Yeah, I have 73 minutes in the game. It's like it was like $1 or something, but the best part of the game is that the nudity DLC was free, and so
okay, dude,
it's just like it was just a skin for your character. It is definitely the biggest waste of an hour of my life, but I 100% of the game, so that's something. But other than that, I wanted to mention this. Code Vein. You all know what that is?
I don't.
Yes, I know what it is.
So it's like
anime Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's anime Dark Souls. It sucks, by the way. I put 6 hours into it. I tried. I really did. But I think I spent like half the time in the character creator and the other half the time hating the game. And
this
so
says if you've never played a Souls game, Code Vein might be a good place to start. And then he gives it like a 4.
Yeah, I don't know. It was technically my first Souls game, but I didn't play it to completion. Elden Ring, however, I beat and have 70 more hours in than Code Vein. So if that says anything, Code Vein was just like, I don't know. I didn't care about the story. I didn't care about the characters. The combat was kind of shit. You get like literally no heals at all. You get like a few to go through like an entire level, and the boss fights were shit. Like they had like cool designs and stuff, but it was just a really dumb system that I didn't care to learn. I don't even know if there was like a proper dodge. Maybe there was. I don't remember. I haven't played the game in a while, but it was kind of ass. I don't know if I have anything else to add.
I don't. Mostly
because I thought of.
Mostly because like in terms of my experience of like anime video games, I'm just trying to think on the top of my head. I couldn't think of any because I feel like I mean, it's not always true, obviously, but ever since I was like 11 or 12, I just like stopped buying like movie games and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about? Because I realized they weren't going to be as good quality as like other independent or whatever other types of games.
I feel like
that's why I feel like I don't have no experience.
I understand that. Like I feel like I find myself playing a lot more indie games than like the big ones. Like Elden Ring, I feel like it's the only game I bought in recent times that was like worth the $60. I'm trying to look through my Steam profile stuff because I haven't played Xbox in a while, but I don't know. I feel like games definitely have gotten worse, and anime games have never like particularly been that great.
Yeah, I think like the Dragon Balls and the Naruto's we named are like the only anime games that I can like personally say were good.
Yeah, like I look back on like the Dragon Ball stuff, they slapped, but I don't know, I just look at like so many of these other games, and like obviously we could talk about Gacha, but that's like that's gonna be its own like topic or whatever. So we can't like go too much into that.
You know what could have a funny game is Food Wars. I think Food Wars could make a pretty funny video game.
Food Wars Gacha?
Not even necessarily a gacha, but you definitely could do a gacha for Food Wars. I don't know if Food Wars is
you'd have like
a video game.
Gordon Ramsay as like a fucking playable character.
And I don't necessarily think Food Wars should have a video game. It apparently had a 3DS game at one point. I don't necessarily know that it should have a video game. I just think that there like was room when Food Wars was popular and like still, airing for it to definitely have some sort of like funny video game. It's not like a fighter, but it's like cooking battles, and then
yeah, apparently there is a 3DS game. I can only imagine what you'd do on that. Cause
surely it's just like Cooking Mama but anime, right?
Let's see gameplay. See, there's a lot of characters. Let's see gameplay. Shogeki no Soma, the dish of friendship, requires little interaction from the player, as most of the game is spent reading text.
Oh,
so it's like a visual novel, but on the DS. I feel like it's such a weird anime to have a DS game for, because isn't Food Wars like really horny, like horny undertones anyway? Yeah.
It's like it's not horny, but then randomly people eat food and then lose all their clothes. But like outside of that part, it's really not all that horny.
Outside of the horniness, it's not horny. I mean, that's so. Anime.
I don't know. You'd have to
watch it.
Yeah, you'd have to watch it to understand what exactly I mean by that.
They
but
just
it's
took like anime characters
yeah.
saying "oishi" and just like took it up like 20 notches.
Yeah, like imagine you're watching an anime and 90% of it's not horny, and then randomly people are naked. That's like the Food Wars experience.
Yeah, you mentioned Bofuri game. Now I really want a Bofuri game.
I know it's basically just an RPG, right? Like basically, Bofuri game is like Final
Bofuri
Fantasy
is
14.
it's just
There's
MMO,
stuff like
but
that.
like I need like the full immersion now.
I think a Bofuri game would be pretty fun.
I need the
But
ability to
also,
just do
I
stupid
didn't really
shit.
talk about them this episode, and I need to still. But Love Lives in rhythm games are kind of like in a weird like gotcha, but not really gotcha realm. In the fact that the gotcha for rhythm games does not matter at all. It just, do you want cuter PNGs and like higher scores?
Yeah, like I'll say like I haven't played Project
Yes.
Sakai for long, but like I hate the game so much, but I can't stop playing it. Like I don't know what it is. It's like I
Rhythm
think
games are frustrating, but like kind of fun. And like
there's
listening to
such
music
a-
is such a enjoyable thing. I think that it's like even in the worst case that you're like malding about missing notes, it's still like, but the song was fog.
the worst part about like rhythm games, and not even just rhythm games, like Project Sakai. My biggest issue has been the difficulty like gap between hard and expert. Like,
Oh, don't worry, the gap gets even worse.
I can
from
only imagine
expert
how
to, like,
bad master is, but like hard to expert, I have like multiple songs that I've like full comboed on hard, but I literally can't even complete the expert. I have like pretty like bad reaction time generally. It's like, well, not bad, but it's like really average at best. And so when there's like too much going on and like things don't work, it's just really hard, I guess. The worst part of the game is flicks, easily. They never register. I hate them so much. There's nothing more frustrating than when I flick and it's just nothing happens. And so I get a miss. Just because
my least favorite is when
didn't
it's
register.
like directional flicks.
I'm fine with directional flicks because like my biggest issue is not like did I flick the right direction? It's did it respond?
registered?
Did my tap register? Yeah. That's like my biggest issue with the game. I feel like I probably maybe enjoy like a Bandori more just because like Bandori has so many different like songs that I probably heard. I don't know.
I think Bandori gameplay is a little bit not necessarily harder than Sekai, but like different.
I uninstalled it pretty quickly, so it obviously did not appeal to me as compared to like Sakai. But
I only really play Bandori because I like the IP, I like the anime, and I like the songs. But the gameplay is just like any other rhythm game to me.
yeah, I think my I'm never gonna like take Sakai seriously. Like I will not spend a dime on that game. But I think my only goal right now is I have decided that Kohane is the best character, and I'm only gonna like put anything into her and her characters.
Kohane is pretty cute. She's probably in like my top 3 or 4.
And definitely got the best design. And then she has a cover of like some of the only songs that I actually know, and so I don't know. She definitely has my favorite design. Yeah.
Big music guy.
But yeah, I feel like we've probably reached the end of the line here, unless anyone has any like last minute additions.
Gone around everywhere. I want there to be a good Mega Man anime. There's like a lot of Mega Man anime. I've seen like the Star Force animes that it has, and then Battle Network had 2 animes. So yeah, they're a Mega Man anime. They're very mid. Like I would never tell anyone to watch the Mega Man anime. I would just tell them to play the games. But the story-based Mega Mans do have anime series. They're just not very good. And they're all like dated. They're like from 2006, 2007 type of time frame. I would love to see like a. You know how Digimon got the new Digimon anime like a year or so ago? I would love to see like a Mega Man get like a real anime in like the 2020s with some cool animation. But that's like kind of cope to ask for. It's just I would love to see a good Mega Man anime.
That would be sick. That would be. I love Mega Man games, so.
Yep, but
sure.
I think that's what we'll stop here for today. I thought we had some good discussions. I vented a lot about monster houses and Mystery Dungeon.
We hate him. We hate him.
We hate monster houses. But yeah, that'll be the end of episode 6 here. Episode 7, of course, will come next Saturday at 3 p.m. like they always do. I have not yet missed an upload. I almost did one time. I woke up Saturday morning for work and
I realized you forgot to upload it.
I'm like, fuck. I did not upload. I didn't schedule the upload. And so I got home and I'm like, okay, I got 3 hours until what's it called? I should be fine.
We didn't even know this happened.
You'll never know.
You'll never.
But yeah, I'm gonna be at the very least. I will never miss one, probably. But if you'd like to visit our social media links, they'll be in the description below, as well as our Anchor link, because you can listen to us on audio only platforms. You know, it's not really like our biggest like outreach, but they exist. If you would like to listen to us on the fly, I guess, because if you don't have like YouTube Premium or whatever, you can't like close your phone and listen to things. But yeah, fuck. See, this is why I got a script. I don't even know what to say. Fuck, I'm ending the recording. Bye.